guys, doing a quick video journal update in my journey with ALS. Actually, I don't know if this will be a quick update. I am updating though because yesterday marked 1 year since I was diagnosed. Brody, what's the matter? Sorry, my dog is just whining out of nowhere. I think she's mad that she's not got the spotlight on her. Say hi, bro. Okay. Anyways, yesterday was 1 year mark since I was diagnosed with ALS, and I make these videos a lot of times for benchmarks for myself to sort of track my progression and look back on. So I figured it was fitting to do one, a year after. So what's happened in the past year? I say this a lot. Sometimes I think that the progression isn't really significant, but then I look back at some of these videos and I remember the timeline of events and I realize just how serious the progression is. So these videos are a help to me in a lot of ways, and a lot of times it brings up really happy stuff. So I'll go through a quick, overview of what's, I guess, happened in the past year in my life. So I was diagnosed with ALS September 12th, 2019. I feel like I'll always remember that date because it's the day after September 11th. It's one of the most, I guess, defining dates in my life at this point. And since then, I have moved multiple times. Last September, I was living in a townhouse with a flight and a half of stairs that I couldn't do anymore. I moved in with a then boyfriend, stayed with him through the winter, and then was able to buy my house. And I live here now with Brody. So I often say there are silver linings to a lot of things in life. Sometimes we don't look at the positives, but I always wanted to buy a house. I had it on my radar, but definitely expedited the process because of my illness and the need to live in a safe environment that I could amend as necessary. So I'm in the process of doing some of those amendments now. But, another thing that I'm grateful for, I can't imagine that I would have tried to buy a house so soon if I hadn't been sick. So it really pushed me, to accomplish this goal of mine. So that's one major thing that's happened. Brody, I don't know why you're whining. Sorry. Come over here. Come here. I got into a relationship last September with Brody. Come here. Come here. Sorry, my dog's driving me nuts. See? Say hi. Say hi. She's staring at herself in the mirror. Come over here. So, sorry, I got into a relationship last September. I was hesitant to get into because of my diagnosis and my situation, but I'm glad I did. We didn't stay together. Excuse you, Brody. Yeah, get down. Sorry, this is the most sporadic video now because of my dog and whatever, but we didn't stay together. Things didn't work out with us. I had the opportunity to live with him over the winter, and it was a huge help, and he's still one of the most consistent sources of support in my life. So I had a tough time with it when we first broke up. I think that I craved security, and I thought that maybe he was it. But the truth is, we just didn't work out. I mean, we weren't meant to be. Thanks, hi. So I'm super, super thankful that we did date and meet because, again, he's one of the most consistent sources of support in my life, and he's an amazing friend and would do anything for me and this dog. So thanks to Joe. That changed in my life. Work has changed. I've had to go to part-time work because I really just need to focus on my health, and I have a lot of, appointments, nurses visits, and things like that, physical therapy, occupational therapy, that take up a lot of my time. So I'm only working very minimal hours, and had to start the disability process, which was frustrating in and of itself. There's like a 6-month waiting period and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, it's a very long and arduous process to get approved for and start collecting disability, and it's just been frustrating, but it's all part of this. It's the learning curve. It's stuff you don't expect to have to deal with when you're 38. So yeah, I'm working part-time, and I'm really thankful for my employer because I still can work part-time, and that's great. I feel like it was tough because a lot of my identity was wrapped up in this career that I started to build for myself, but that's not all of who I am. So yeah, that has changed. Trying to think what else. Oh, Albany. I went to Albany and I saw a different doctor who started treating me for Lyme disease, which I'm still getting the treatments for. Though we don't have a Lyme positive in my blood work, I feel like it's still something. It's me trying to treat something. It's not like this invisible disease like ALS. Like at least Lyme, I feel like we're doing something. So whether we're treating Lyme or another bacteria from a tick, I'm going to continue with it. IV antibiotics, I get them Monday through Friday. I've been on them since June, and I'm going to continue with them until I can't. I guess I feel like it makes me feel like I'm doing something and trying to battle something in my body, and it's certainly not doing any harm. So I've done that. I guess those are like the most major things I can pick out, and with regards to my actual functionality and how that has changed in the last year, I mean, I'll sort of go through that, briefly. So last September, I was able to walk up and down a flight and a half of stairs at my apartment. And then over the winter, when I lived with my boyfriend, I was able to get in and out of his house, which had a few stairs, no railings, but I was able to navigate it and get out. I was there this weekend and can't. I tried to walk up 2 steps into his kitchen, and I needed literally him to lift me up the steps. So that's scary, because when it's these things that you're used to doing that you suddenly can't do because you haven't tried it in a while, it's terrifying. Even at my own house, I've had a few falls these past week. One in my garage. The steps that lead up into my house from my garage, there are 4 of them. When I first moved in here, were doable, not a big deal. Now that top step, because there's no railing for me to pull up on, has really become difficult. We added some additional handicap railings, but this week I was midway through the last step and my left leg just collapsed out from under me. And I fell down the stairs and smacked my head. You can see some of it. I have a goose egg here. On the concrete, which sucked. It scared me. I lost my vision for a minute. Called 911. I was seen by the EMTs. I'm fine. But it's scary. So physically, the decline is definitely there. There are months where I feel like it's minimal, and then there are times where I go to do something like that, walk upstairs, and I'm like, it's, hits me smack in the face. Like, yeah, it does affect you, every day. It gets worse, it feels like. My hand, I've shown multiple times. I can't straighten, this is me trying to hold my hand out, it's shaky. I can't straighten my fingers because the atrophy is so significant in this hand. I just don't have the muscle to, so my hand sort of like claws up like this. So yeah, that's definitely still on the decline. And I've had to learn to do a lot of things with my left hand, which is a good thing and a bad thing because it stops me from using my right hand. I have to be more conscious of trying to make my right hand participate in activities. Brushing my teeth, things like that. I need to try to use my right hand as much as I can. So yeah, the decline there is still pretty significant. I guess walking is really the biggest thing that has affected me this year. My mobility is just so restricted. I can still drive. I have no problem getting my foot from gas to brake. It's just putting any pressure on my legs just feels like I don't have the strength to walk, and it's terrifying. But I was able to get a scooter, and we're working on getting a scooter lift attached to my car, and I have walkers all over my house. I try to get by as good as I can. I mean, I have shitty days, like I've said before. I'd say 80% of the days are good. 20% of those days are rough. I mean, I joined one of these ALS groups on Facebook, which I really shouldn't be part of. I'm not making fun of or poking fun at it, but it's hard to watch some of these stories. Like, holy shit. I mean, but it does make me count my blessings even there more, because I look at these people who were diagnosed in April of 2020 and have already passed away, and it's terrifying. I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones. My breathing hasn't been affected at all. I went for my neurologist appointment last week or 2 weeks ago, and my breathing capacity is above what a normal person's is. I don't have any swallowing issues. It's mostly my mobility. So there are tough days, and yes, I get frustrated as shit about it, but like, I guess I'm really in the best place I could be considering the diagnosis. I have a few things on my side, my age, and my will to live. I said it before, like, I don't want to let it define me, because it'll defeat me. I'm not giving up without a fight. There are some breakthroughs-ish on the medicine forefront with ALS. There's one they're trying to push through to allow patients to have without completing its phase 3 clinical trial, and the Brainstorm research group that created Neurone, a stem cell treatment, that is wrapping up its phase 3 clinical trial. So those cases have actually shown increased improvement and, a reduction of symptoms and a return of mobility in many people. So I'm holding out hope, like, something's gonna come along before I let it take me out. So this was probably the longest update I've created, but again, it was 1 year ago yesterday that I got diagnosed, and although it has taken its toll on me, and I think, it has changed my personality in some ways, which I hate, because I feel like I have a constant worry, but it's also like really made me look at and count my blessings in life, and I couldn't have done this without the amazing people around me. I have such an amazing support group. I have my ex Joe, who helps me all the time. I have my roommate Chalice, who lives with me and helps me. I have my mom, my good friend Jenna, so many people. I have people, and my friend Chrissy, who started that fundraiser for me a few months back. My other friend Christy, who has shared with me her struggle with Lyme disease, and another friend who started a fundraiser to help me with the lift and is offering service through his mobile detailing to help raise funds, and just really have had a tribe of people rally around me during this whole ordeal, and I can't be more thankful for it. I guess I sometimes I probably don't express how thankful I am to everyone, but I couldn't do it without you guys. So yes, ALS sucks, but I can't let it stop me from living. If I let fear rule my life the way some people have with COVID or other situations, I literally would never leave my house. I was able to get out of the house the other day, put my own walker in the car, go to Walgreens, shop, get home, get the walker out, all by myself. And that was the first time I'd done that, and I don't even know how long, probably a good 6 months. And yes, I was scared. And was I fearful that I would fall? Absolutely. But I didn't. So I take those wins and I stick them in my back pocket for the days where I have a shitty day. And I remember, not all days are terrible. Some days suck. Some days are great. Some days it doesn't affect me, and other days it does. But still grateful for all the support, and for all the things I have been able to accomplish. It's like I have a lot of what I call tragedy in my past, I guess. Death of most of my immediate family years ago, and all sorts of abuse, and it doesn't define who we are. What defines us is how we pull ourselves out of those situations. And I've been able to crawl out of every one so far. Still kicking. So I'm not giving up this fight very easily. I'm gonna give it all I got. So, that's the longest update I've had. Sorry for babbling. It's just been I guess a little bit of a roller coaster when I look back on all of it in the last year. So I guess that's my 1-year anniversary update. I don't know if it's an anniversary, but I guess we'll call it that. So that's it. I don't know. I'm just sort of rambling at this point. So there's my update. 1 year later, I'm still here, still kicking, still grateful for all the support I have. So I'll update soon. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. Bye.